Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Senior Airman Devin Notestein. A new brigade with a new mission arrives on the Korean Peninsula. Technical Sergeant Jacqueline Denny takes you to Osan's passenger service terminal to learn more about this new brigade.
Having Army brigades stationed throughout the Pacific is nothing new. In fact, the Army has had a presence in South Korea for over 50 years. However, it is the first of its kind here in South Korea.
We are the first full rotational brigade. There has been battalions that have rotated through before us as a proof of principle. Our brigade, the second Armored Brigade, will be the first full Armored Brigade to come in on a rotational basis. And it allows us, the Army, to get a fully trained brigade combat team every 9 months into Korea. And it gives us the ability to train and the requirements of training, keeps us ready to fight tonight.
Maintaining a constant state of readiness can be challenging. Lieutenant Colonel Bowers explains how this change will directly benefit their mission of readiness.
Well, some of the benefits, I think, is really our readiness. We have trained for 12 months to prepare for this.
Their mindset is different, but that does nothing to tamper their motivation of working alongside their Republic of Korea counterparts.
We're really excited about the integration with the Republic of Korea and their being able to train with their abilities as an ally that they bring to the fight. It's a different mission from what we're used to in Afghanistan and Iraq. This gives us a completely different mindset, and the soldiers are real excited about getting after it and being here in Korea.
Technical Sergeant Jacqueline Denny, Osan Air Base, Korea.
This will be the first time in over 50 years the Korean Peninsula will not have a permanently stationed brigade combat team. One agency is in charge of safely storing everyday items that could explode. Senior Airman Robert Mason reports.
Hazmat is an organization who specializes in keeping their cool under pressure. They store and distribute products that could have the possibility to explode.
We have batteries over here, we have flammables in here, we have free issue, which is anything that's extra on base that anyone would need, they can come and get that behind me. Inside the warehouse, we have spray paint, which is separated from everything else, and then we have non-flammables, and we have drums inside the warehouse.
Because dealing with hazardous material requires extra attention, it's important to keep everything thoroughly organized and accounted for. But their job doesn't stop once the product leaves their warehouse.
I think the biggest contribution that we play in the mission is just making sure that people get the hazardous material correctly. They know how to maintain it, how to monitor it, how to use it, and providing that service to the base.
My favorite part of this job is coming to work every day and getting my job done. At the end of the day, feeling satisfied that I completed my mission.
Senior Airman Robert Mason, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Hazmat stores potentially dangerous materials used all around base in the local area. You may have noticed soccer is a big deal in Korea. Army Sergeant Simon McTizik takes us to a game that only happens once a year.
On a nice day in Korea, it's safe to assume someone is playing soccer. It's a common activity you see just about everywhere. But the AUSA 8th Army soccer team hopped a bus, driving past several equally playable soccer fields for a special match in Jeju City. The match is part of an ongoing friendship between the soldiers and Seitamen, Korean for people who found their new home.
When I first arrived here 20 months ago, I wanted to understand more the plight of North Koreans and the human dimension of North Korea. And then I met Mr. Che, who is the president of the Future Reunification Organization. He came to my office about 13 months ago, and we decided to establish a partnership.
Starting a new life from scratch can be a daunting task, especially considering many Seitamans still have family in the north. Recently, many FC Marais soccer team players were able to actually speak to their family members via telephone.
When we told our families that we were having a soccer game with U.S. soldiers, they couldn't believe it.
Soccer may be all around Korea, but there isn't another match quite like this one. Army Sergeant Simon McTizik, Jeju City, Korea.
This is the second sharing New Friendship Soccer Tournament. They say you are what you eat, but what do you want to be? Airman First Class Rebecca Long takes us through several aisles full of decisions.
Thousands of years ago, putting food on the table was difficult but relatively straightforward. If you were fortunate enough to find an egg, well, the ingredients in that night's meal were egg.
Fast forward to today, and things have gotten a lot easier. With a little money and some basic hand-eye coordination, you have access to thousands of food options. But when you grab, say, cheese in a can, your ingredients for tonight's meal now include and that's before getting into trans fats, saturated fats, cholesterol, sodium, sugars, protein, vitamin A, calcium, and so on.
All of this information can get overwhelming when you just want something to eat, but the Youngsong Performance Triad isn't going to let a little extra reading get in the way of their health.
You really can't have one food group and create a well-balanced, healthy meal. You need all five. So making sure that you get your fiber, your vitamins, your minerals, your water, your protein, and then of course any of your dairy to get your calcium and vitamin D. So having that sort of all five food groups combined is where that healthy eating is going to start from.
The Performance Triad is a 6-week program focusing on fitness, diet, and all-around health.
As part of their learning experience, walking them through the commissary aisle for aisle with the dietitian to talk about nutrition label reading, what to look for in each food category, so that ultimately at the end of the day, they're able to have that shopping experience to create healthy choices on their own. So you definitely want to make sure that you shop the perimeter of the commissary most of the time. Usually the perimeter needs refrigeration, and your things that are perishable, like your fruits, your vegetables, your lean meats, need refrigeration. So that's where you're going to get a lot of your fresh items. Sticking to the perimeter, all the stuff that's processed is usually in the center.
Again, your dietitians are at the Brian Allgood Community Hospital. I'm Airman First Class Rebecca Long, Youngsan, Korea.
The commissary tour is part of the Performance Triad 6-week program. High morale is a key factor of a cohesive unit. Army Sergeant Mark Breha tells us how 36th Signal Battalion soldiers come together.
It's not always easy to get to know your coworkers, but if you play sports together, it'll help you create a more friendly working environment. The 36th Signal Battalion had a special day to promote teamwork, morale, and esprit de corps in the Camp Henry Victory Field.
I came here last Thursday. It was so awkward because I didn't know anyone out here, but today I'm playing with all these people, playing sports, which is my favorite. The sports is the best way to be friends, so I love it.
The day also provided a chance for Area 4 service members to mingle and compete with those from other areas.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for the soldiers in the battalion to come together. I know for my company, the 501st Signal Company, we're a little separated up north. We're the only company up in Area 3. It's a great opportunity for us to bring our soldiers down here and come together as a team.
Through soccer and flag football tournaments, soldiers learned how to compete for their goals.
Well, I think it's all about friendly competition, and what we strive for is to win. So whether we're winning on doing our jobs, winning in war, winning in battle, or winning on the playing field, it's always about that competitive competition and having fun at the same time.
Army Sergeant Mark Breha, Camp Henry, Korea.
More than 100 soldiers participated in the 36th Signal Battalion Org Day event. Nice weather encourages people to go outside. I'm going to take you on an unusual camping trip with weapons. Most campsites are full of tents, such as this one, but there is something that sets it apart from others. This site is the Combat Medical Ministry Course Field Training Exercise. The tents consist of medical personnel who train soldiers for wartime operations. Every member being trained serves a valuable role as a chaplain or chaplain assistant. After their training, the chaplains and assistants took part in a mass casualty exercise scenario to test what they've learned.
They're going to call for all medical assets available. It will also call for all religious support assets. Today, for our training, we're going to have U.S. chaplains and chaplain assistants providing religious support, helping to get patients from either to the operating room, to the PACU, to the expectant area.
The chaplains play their part in the recovery and survival of the wounded during each step of the air evacuation. Senior Airman Devin Notestein, Special Warfare Command Base, Korea. The 3-day exercise helps train and certify U.S. and ROK Army chaplains and chaplain assistants. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, June 25th. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
The fourth priority for USFK is sustaining force and enhance the team. This means we all work hard to eliminate sexual assault and anything potentially harmful to our men and women and our mission. Sustaining the force means maintaining physical fitness and keeping mentally, spiritually, and emotionally fit. And we have extensive outreach and good neighbor programs allowing you to get out and interact with our Korean hosts.